Good day, students. I'm your teacher for today, and I'm teacher Josh. Before we start the lesson, I will give you a motivation. This is 5 jumbled letters, and you will guess it for 1 minute. This is the 5 jumbled letters, and you may start now. Pens up, let us check your answers. Very good, class. You answered it all correctly. Let us begin, class. Are you familiar with the story of Lady Chatterley's lover? Lady Chatterley's Lover is a novel written by D.H. Lawrence. D.H. Lawrence, or David Herbert Lawrence, is born in England in September 1885. He is one of the most influential writers in the 20th century. One of his famous works is Lady Chatterley's Lover, published on 1928. Before we proceed, here are some vocabulary words that we will encounter. The first one is infidelity. Infidelity is having sexual relationship with someone other than one's partner. The next one is aristocrat. They are the highest members of the social class. Next, peasant. A large bird with a long tail. Fourth one, reluctant. This is having doubt on doing something. The last word, gamekeeper. This is the person who is in charge to protect the hunted animals in a private land. Here are the characters of the story. Constance Terade and Clifford Chatterley were husbands and wife. They are both an aristocrat in the Ragbay estate. The next one is Oliver Mellors, or the gamekeeper. He is the henchman of Clifford Chatterley, who has an affair with Lady Chatterley. Here are the settings of the story. The first one is the Ragbay Hall, next is the Ragbay Estate, followed by Germany, Woods, Italy, and London. Before we proceed to the plot of the story, here is a video clip about the story of Lady Chatterley.
Lady Chatterley's Lover begins by introducing Connie Reed, the female protagonist of the novel. At the age of 23 she marries Clifford Chatterley. After a month's honeymoon he is sent to war but returns paralyzed from the waist down. Connie starts to feel isolated. She longs for real human contact. Connie falls in love with Mellors, her husband's gamekeeper. As the story continues, both Connie and Mellors start to have a sexual relationship. The book ends with Mellors working as a farm worker and is waiting for Connie to join him.
Exposition of the story. Clifford Chatterley is an aristocrat who inherited the Ragbay Hall. Constance is also highborn who studied in Germany, where she also married Clifford Chatterley. After the marriage, Clifford was sent back to war, where he ends up being paralyzed from waist to down. He recovered for 2 years, after which he and his wife traveled to the Ragbay estate. Rising action. Clifford wants to have a child, but he is not capable of having sex. But he hints to her that he wants a child as long as he doesn't know who the real father is. One day, they have a guest named Michaelis. He is a writer who Lady Chatterley has an affair with. But Lady Chatterley always feels empty with Michaelis, so she stopped having an affair with him. Climax of the story. Lady Chatterley was walking in the woods, where she saw Oliver Mellors half naked, and this excites her, so she went home and examined her own naked body. Then, Hilda noticed that Constance is not feeling well, so she offered to Clifford to hire a nurse so he will not be a burden to Constance. One day, Constance was in the hut watching the hens with the keeper. Then, Mellor saw a tear from her eye and seduces her. This energized Constance. Meanwhile, Mrs. Bolton begins to suspect with Lady Chatterley, but she continued having sex with Mellors. The other day, Lady Chatterley and Clifford went to the hill, where Clifford's wheelchair malfunctioned. Lady Chatterley decided to go to Italy and pretend that she has a lover, because Clifford will be upset if he noticed that she got pregnant by a lower class as the gamekeeper is. Falling action. Constance spends several weeks in Italy. Then Mellor's wife go back to Ragbay Estate and accused him with infidelity. His wife wants a divorce. Clifford ends up letting the keeper go because he doesn't want its wife to spread malicious rumors at the Ragbay Estate. Then, Mellors moved to London. Constance met up with him. There, she wrote a letter to her husband that she got pregnant by a man named Duncan and she wants a divorce. The new men. Constance go back to Ragbay Hall. Clifford said that she was not totally in love by Duncan. Constance finally admits that she has an affair with the gamekeeper. Clifford got incredibly offended and refused the divorce. Then, Constance left her husband without divorcing. Meanwhile, Mellors was entangled with his own divorce and cannot be with Constance immediately. Lastly, it ends up with them being apart but still hoping being together in the near future. So students, what do you think is the theme of our story? Very good! The theme of our story is love, affair, disloyalty, and sexuality. So class, before I end this topic, I want you to answer this question. If you were the author of the story, what would be the best ending for you? Okay students, thank you for listening. Again, I'm teacher Josh. Have a good day and goodbye.